part of you that's building a legacy says, not yet. Champions are not made in the beginning of the race when the applause is loud. See, they are made in the final stretch when no one is watching. Push, dig, fight. Not for the crowd, not for the moment, but for the future version of you who will look back and say, I'm glad I did not quit. Hello everyone, welcome back to Elevate You Lifestyle. I'm Eric Nelson. Imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table long after midnight. Everyone else in the world seems to be asleep, except you and your worries. You stare at the bills, the bank account balance, the goals that you wrote months ago but cannot afford to chase. Your chest gets tight. Your thoughts get loud. Not because you're broke, but because you are tired of being controlled by something you never truly understood. They told you that money was simple. Work hard, save, be grateful. But no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you tried, no matter how disciplined you were, money always felt one step ahead of you, like a shadow you could not outrun. You have watched people with less talent pass you. You have watched people with worse intentions win. You have watched people who don't deserve it somehow get it. And you sit there wondering, what am I missing? What do they know that I don't? That's when it hits you. A cold, sobering truth. Money was never about fairness. It was never about effort. It was never about desire. Money is a game played in silence by people who understand rules nobody ever taught you. Rules they hid behind cliches, slogans, and false security. So you take a deep breath. You lean back in your chair. And for the first time, you stop blaming the system and start studying it. Because in that moment, you realize something powerful. That money is not mysterious. It's misunderstood. In the moment you learn the dark truth about it, you stop fearing it and start mastering it. This is the moment the old mindset dies. This is the mindset a new version of you wakes up. This is the moment you stop surviving money and start commanding it. So, this is what we're going to talk about today. Let's dive into it. Money does not change you. It amplifies you. If you're disciplined, money makes you more disciplined. If you're reckless, money magnifies the chaos. See, people believe that wealth transforms them. But the truth is, it only removes the mask. Money is a mirror. And if you don't like what you see when it arrives, the problem is not the money, it's the character behind it. So you can earn money by accident, but you can only keep it with structure. Undisciplined people lose money the same way they lose time, casually, carelessly, consistently. The dark truth? Money abandons the irresponsible. See, it knows who can protect it and who will waste it. Wanting to be rich means nothing. Desire is emotional. Wealth is mathematical. Money flows to structure, strategy, and systems, not feelings. You don't get rich because you want it. You get rich because you build the machinery that demands it. Anytime you make a financial decision out of fear, excitement, guilt, or ego, you lose. Emotional spending, emotional investing, emotional saving. All of it destroys your wealth. Money doesn't care how you feel. It only responds to the logic, data, and discipline. The dark truth is this. The harder you chase money, the faster it runs. Desperation repels opportunity. Wealth doesn't respond to panic, it responds to value. When you stop begging for money and start becoming someone that money can trust, it comes to you. You cannot have money and comfort at the same time. Not in the beginning. Wealth requires late nights, study, silence, and also seasons of isolation. It demands that you outgrow people who drain you and habits that weaken you. Money has a price. Most people refuse to pay it. When money finally arrives, it brings temptation with it. Shortcuts, ego, pride, entitlement. People who aren't grounded become enslaved by the very thing they prayed for. The dark truth is that wealth requires more integrity than struggle ever did. The moment you let money define your worth, it starts destroying your life. You become obsessed with impressing people who don't care, competing with people you don't like, and buying things you don't really need. Without maturity, money blinds you, and blind people make the worst decisions. See, money grows where it's tracked, managed, and multiplied. It dies where it's ignored. If you don't respect your money, it leaves, wasted on impulse purchases, subscriptions you forgot, moments of weakness, and I deserve it decisions. See, wealth is a relationship, and if you don't treat it well, it walks. Your environment determines your income. Poor mindsets create poor results. Wealthy mindsets create wealthy outcomes. The dark truth? Most people's financial struggles come from the people they are surrounded by, the conversations they entertain, the advice they listen to, and the expectations they accept. Fear keeps you broke more than poverty ever will. Fear stops you from investing. Fear stops you from learning. Fear stops you from taking risks that elevate you. Money punishes those who wait too long, hesitate too often, and trust their doubt more than their vision. Most people believe that effort equals wealth. It doesn't. Hard work matters, but value determines compensation. I mean, you can work 16 hours a day and stay broke if your work does not solve valuable problems. Wealth is a value game, not a sweat game. People think that more money equals more freedom. Actually, more money equals more responsibility, more decisions, more risk, more eyes watching, more pressure to steward it well. Freedom is not the arrival of wealth. It is the discipline you build before wealth arrives. See, money is the shadow that follows purpose, discipline, skill, service, problem solving, consistency. You don't chase the shadow. You become the object that casts it. Money is a result, never a reason. This is the final and darkest truth. Money does not change your life. You do. Not by wishing, not by hoping, but by becoming the kind of person money gravitates toward your discipline, toward your focus, value, and you being unshakable. When you transform intentionally, your bank account eventually follows. Money always catches up to identity. Money is not your enemy. Ignorance is. Discipline is wealth. Skill is wealth. Understanding is wealth. The moment you stop chasing money and start becoming the kind of person who deserves it, money follows you like a shadow. So, learn the game. Study the rules. Build the habits. Protect your value. And when you finally rise with intention. If this message hits your spirit today, like this video, and subscribe to this channel, Elevate You, and share it with someone who needs the truth about money. This is Elevate You. And as always, let's elevate.